So it seems that views have been pretty slow on the Sonic Superstars news. People don't seem to care as much. I don't know. Are you telling me you're bored of classic Sonic? No, that can't be it. Come on. We got brand new Superstars news to talk about. We got Sonic Mania 2 news to talk about from GameInformer, Tales Channel, etc, etc. So we'll get into all this right now. But if you subscribe to the channel already, please make sure to subscribe. Okay, so I'm going to do a quick recap of what I talked about in the previous video, because that was a long article. But Tales Channel did a quick recap of that previous article, basically saying all the Chaos Emeralds have powers, basically, and there's 7 Chaos Emeralds, so there should be 7 powers, or the 7th Emerald, the White Emerald, is a unique power for each character, so it's technically 10 powers. But yes, you see blue is Avatar, red is Bullet, cyan is Water, green is Ivy, purple is Vision, yellow is Slow, white is Extra. That makes no sense until you actually read what each one does. Avatar clones the character as basically like Cedo Team Blast. Bullet allows you to blast your character in a specified direction. It's like a kind of cannon thing. Emerald powers Water, means you can traverse easily underwater. Ivy means you can grow vines from where your character stands. Vision reveals hidden platforms like the SA2 shades. Slow slows down everything on screen. And then the extra Emerald, Sonic gets a homing attack, Amy gets a hammer throw, Knuckles can punch, and Tails can tornado spin. So yes, Knuckles needs a Chaos Emerald to punch, because it's a classic Sonic game. Anyway, we've got more information to talk about, because basically this was part of a feature. GameInformer has got a whole feature about this shit, and they want you to pay, you know, real money to access it. Naturally, of course, people have screenshotted the whole shit, so I won't go through everything, right? But before we get to that feature, they posted something else, and it says here, why didn't Sonic Mania 2 happen? So now shit getting interesting, okay? So we're gonna go through this, because I know a lot of people have been talking about Mania 2, especially since Superstars came out, and we're like, what happened to the Whitehead game? Obviously, Christian Whitehead is working on his own game, the Penny's Breakaway 3D platformer game, which I'm definitely gonna be checking out. But it says here, when Sonic Mania arrived in 2017, it was a massive success for the franchise, so much that it seemed inevitable that a sequel developed in conjunction with Christian Whitehead, Pagoda West Games, and Headcanon would be fit next for the Blue... Where did I don't know where fit came from, I just added that. Unfortunately, it never happened. We asked both Daddy Zook and Christian Whitehead what happened to Sonic Mania 2. Headcanon continued working with the Sonic brand through 2022 Sonic Origins and its 2023 update Sonic Origins Plus, while Whitehead founded his own studio Evening Star alongside fellow Sonic Mania developers in 2018. This past June, Evening Star announced his first game, Penny's Big Breakaway, coming in early 2024. Instead of the expected Sonic Mania 2 in June 2023, okay, I can't really zoom that in properly, Sega's Sonic team and development studio Arzest, headed up by Sonic co-creator Naruto Oshima, announced Sonic Superstars. The game feels like a continuation of what Mania accomplished in 2017, but with modern visuals, special emerald powers, cooperative gameplay, and exclusively all-new zones. However, many wondered why Sonic Mania 2, which seems like it would have been an ultimate slam dunk hit, never came to fruition. In 2021, reports from a gaming insider named Zippo surfaced that internal plans to create a true successor to Sonic Mania had been scrapped due to differences between Sonic Mania's external developers and Sega. While not directly confirming or commenting on that particular report, Iizuka confirms that he had talks with Whitehead following the release of Mania. And Iizuka says, there was a period after the development of Sonic Mania where we worked with them to consider concepts for the next generation of classic Sonic. Iizuka says, it's too bad that it didn't become a finished game. Still, I'm pleased that the next generation of classic Sonic that we talked about with them has been achieved with Superstars. One major hurdle to providing a true successor to Sonic Mania is that Iizuka and Sonic team wanted to move away from the pixel art graphics with the next new title in the classic Sonic series. He said, when you make a 2D game using pixel art, you kind of end up targeting a very specific core audience, he says. We wanted to bring this game to as many people as possible. In order to make it really look and feel as appealing to a wider audience, we needed to use the 3D assets to really give it that current look. I mean, if you wanted the current look, I don't know, the modern look, you could have used modern Sonic, but you don't want to piss off the classic casuals. Okay, it's cool, alright? Let's keep going. But we do know that core fans want that old classic Sonic look. They want that old classic Sonic feel. So we focused on making sure the controls are solid and the look and the feel was really representative of a classic Sonic game. Remember when people asked Iizuka about Adventure 3 and he said he didn't want to step the franchise back and give the fans what they want, because that would be stepping the franchise back. But he does know that core fans want the old back, so he's doing that for them, I guess. Anyway, Whitehead backs up this story with his own recounting of the event. So now they're getting Whitehead's side. When we started Evening Star, it was always our goal to move beyond 2D pixel art into 3D games and develop all new original IP, he says. Evening Star did work with Sega to explore possible directions Classic Sonic could go after the success of Sonic Mania. Sonic Mania 2 was never in development, though, because we actually agreed early on that we should try to make something fresh, like hand-drawn 2D or 2.5D. For the record, Sonic 2 HD, which I don't think is fully finished yet, but that art style is so beautiful, and if we had gotten a Mania game like Sonic 2 HD, oh, it would have been so beautiful, man. At the same time, Evening Star was developing our new Star engine, so we also ended up making a cool Sonic prototype that played with depth in 2.5D and some other gameplay ideas. Following those initial planning sessions and a mutual decision to not proceed with development, Evening Star began work on Penny's Big Breakaway. So a mutual decision to not proceed basically means, let's be real, Sega said we want to do this, that, and that, and Whitehead was like, we actually want to do that, and this, and there was a disagreement. And it's like, well, we can't force Sega's hand. It's their IP. If they don't want to do what we want, even though we're the developers, it's like, we either do what they want, or we just break away, pun intended, and make our own team and do our own thing. And that's probably what happened here. I don't know if it was salary related. You know, they're never going to mention that shit because they want to do all that amicable shit. But we know that there was some kind of disagreement on what to do next. Because even Christian Whitehead, after Mania came out, on record, said that he wanted to move to 3D. Like, I have a video talking about that years ago, like, after Mania came out. So, it's clear that was on his mind. But, yeah. It says here, as Azuka-san said, though, Unistar did not continue to full production on the game, at which point RZS took the helm and made Superstars alongside Sonic Team, Whitehead says. We move forward with our plans to develop an original 3D title, which is, of course, Penny's Big Breakaway. Superstars looks awesome, and our team is really excited to play it when it comes out. Alright, Whitehead also dashed away one of the big points of speculation among Sonic fans, that Sonic Mania 2 falling through was the result of bad blood between Sega and members of Unistar. Contrary to any rumors, we maintain a friendly relationship with Sega and hope fans are pumped to play both games once they release. He's got to say that, though. He has to say it. I'm not saying that he's lying, okay, but you got to remember that if you start going the combative route, Sonic fans are vicious. They like barbs, okay? If you start attacking Sega, they're not even going to play his game. But if he goes, no, we still love Sega, we love them, you know, everything's great, you know, I'm excited for both games, Superstars and our game, then they go, okay, he's still on good terms with Sega. Now the Sonic fans can play this game without feeling like, you know, they're betraying Sonic or whatever. Because, you know, Spark the Electric Jester 3, which I covered on my non-Sonic channel, link in the description, is a 3D indie game that is, like, heavily inspired by, like, the adventure era of Sonic, and it's, like, really good. Like, better than a lot of Sonic games good. But because a lot of people on Twitter have been saying that, Sonic fans are getting mad because it's like, oh, you're pitting Spark against Sonic. And because of that, Sonic fans have gone out of their way to shit on the game, even though they've never played it, and vow to not play it because they see it as some kind of attack to Sonic's like reputation or something like that. So if you go that combative route, and the creator never went the combative route, it's just like the fan base kind of did that because a lot of people really like Spark 3. I love Spark 3. So, but yeah, it's one of those things where it's better to be on good terms and hope that some of these Sonic fans will eventually try out his shit, or wait for someone to mod Sonic into it before they try it, but we'll see what happens. Though Whitehead and his team are involved in Sonic Superstars, the influence of their work and ideas is apparent. A lot of the things that we talked about with Christian, you know, let's make a visually rich game that's not based in pixel, let's not do the Mania thing of reusing stuff, let's make something brand new with all new levels. That's where the start of the concepting happened after Mania. But everything came to a stop, Azuka says. When we kicked off Sonic Superstars with Oshima-san's team, a lot of the conversations that we had with Christian were already in our heads, and we did start creating a new game already in a similar vein of let's make something new and let's make something not pixel. Even beyond some concepts seemingly making the jump from the early Sonic Mania 2 concepts to Sonic Superstars, Sonic Mania's success was instrumental in the creation of Sonic Superstars. During Sonic Mania's development, I didn't expect this level of fan reaction or success, Azuka says. That success created the opportunity to think about the next generation of classic Sonic and led to Sonic Superstars. Sonic Mania helped us realize that fans still wanted and enjoyed the classic series. On Twitter, hold on. I don't know why this statement kind of bothers me, because I remember when Mania was like announced, Azuka thought it wasn't going to do well because they were leaning heavily on Forces. But you realize that it was actually going to be like a hit, and then they started pumping it. But I don't like the way they said Sonic Mania helped us realize that fans still wanted and enjoyed the classic series, because the reality is fans want quality games. And the reason why we were hyped for Mania, not so much for Forces, is because Mania was quality, right? If you made another Sonic 4, people wouldn't be hyped. So really what you should be saying is fans want hype games. Whether it's like you're making the greatest Boost Sonic game of all time, or the greatest Adventure Sonic game of all time, or the greatest, you know, classic Sonic game of all time, or you're at least trying to do that, or the greatest remaster or remake of all time. Like, we want the quality, right? Sonic fans will try different formulas. We like different formulas. Everyone's got their favorite formula, but we like the other formulas. I don't hate the classic formula. I don't hate the Boost. I don't hate the Adventure formula. Obviously not. But it's just like, it's about the quality. If you make a mid game, like if Superstars was mid, I'm not saying it is, but if it was mid, then we wouldn't care, right? It's about the quality. So phrasing it this way makes it feel like, oh, you know, Forces was a hit, was a flop. That means that Sonic fans don't like, I don't know, the Avatar. When the Avatar itself was not an issue, even though OCs can be cringe. The real issue is that Forces was mid, right? At the end of the day. Or when 06 came out and it bombed, people, Sega might have been like, oh, that means that they don't like multiple playable characters and hub worlds and all the other things that were actually good about the game. Because the game bombed, it's like none of that was good, and then no other character was playable for like over a decade. It's like, you gotta frame everything correctly, because that shit kind of bothers me. Like, anyway, let's keep going. On Twitter, Whitehead has provided further confirmation that he approves of the work being done on Sonic Superstars, with one retweet about the game's physics engine simply containing the thumbs up emoji. I covered that before. Another tweet stating, we'll have more to say on this when it's appropriate, but the Mania physics were indeed fully translated to modern 3D. Says despite Whitehead's confirmation that this work was done, Iizuka says that the programming is fully or completely unique to Sonic Superstars created from the ground up by Artist. The team referenced not only Mania, but we referenced Sonic 1, 2, 3, and Mania when we were creating Sonic Superstars. Iizuka says the game was created from zero, from absolutely nothing, but we're still looking at all those 4 classic games and creating physics that are going to match and feel like what the classic series needs to be from scratch. When we're talking about the classic series and how we're referencing the physics, those are the 4 titles we were looking at. And I covered that before as well. Whitehead basically insinuated that they translated the Mania physics for Sonic Superstars, and Iizuka did that interview thing where he made it seem like they did everything from scratch, like they didn't just use code from Mania, which I don't buy that because they've never been able to recreate classic physics since the 90s. But apparently now they are. Let's keep going. Because of all that, Sonic Superstars looks to not be the Sonic Mania 2 that many envisioned or expected, but instead a spiritual successor. The physics play much like fans of Sonic Mania and the other beloved classic Sonic games play, but with modern visuals and other various features, and then the consoles that it's coming out to, basically. So how do I feel about this? For starters, the Sonic Mania 2 that I envisioned, I made a video on that. I don't think they needed to make Mania 2. I mean, I guess an original sequel to Mania, but I wouldn't call that Mania 2, because when I think of Mania, I think of the old and new zones, like old mix of new, but more old than new. So they could have given it a brand new name, like Superstars is a cool name, I like the name, but yeah, they could have done another pixel art game, but all original levels. But I guess them doing it with 3D, cool. It's not really the end of the world for me. I think I prefer the pixel style. But honestly, what I really want was the Sonic version of Super Mario Maker, basically. Put Sonic 1 zones in there, Sonic 2, 3 and Knuckles, Mania zones. Like, that alone would have been a fire, like, Super Mario Maker version of Sonic version of Super Mario Maker. Now, if you really wanted to go there and you weren't afraid of pissing off the classic fans, then you add in like Advance 3, Advance 2, even Advance 1, Sonic Rush, Sonic 4. You could have all those themes in there and you could make levels for all those games, right? That would be the ultimate 2D Sonic game ever. Like, my favorite Mario game is literally Mario Maker. Either 1 or 2, but they both have their pros and cons. But if they had done that, that would have been the definitive 2D Sonic experience. And Iizuka Flow said he wouldn't do one in an interview. I don't know why they're sleeping on this money. They like to do everything late. They're making New Super Mario Bros. In 2023. Mario Maker 1 came out 2015, so I'm guessing in 2030 they'll finally realize that a 2D Sonic Maker would be a good idea. But yes, it's a very important article, and I guess we'll see what happens with Superstars if it's going to be the true spiritual successor to Sonic Mania. We haven't seen enough level design to really determine that. Level design wise, from what I've seen, it doesn't seem like it's on par with Mania, but only time will tell, man. Anyway, let's get into the full article of GameInformer. We're going to see everything that's going on with this shit right here. And we're going to read through it because they wanted us to pay for this and we ain't doing that shit. So it says, we sped through never-before-seen zones to learn more about Sonic Superstars and the franchise's return to its 2D roots. This time last year, Sonic the Hedgehog as a brand was thriving. Oh, that's a weird way to start the paragraph. I was expecting the 06 and, you know, all that shit, the werewolf. Thanks to successful live-action films, a popular comic series, and a litany of brand deals, Sega's blue mascot was once again a juggernaut in mainstream consciousness. All that was missing was a hit in the medium that put Sonic on the map in the first place, and one of gaming's greatest comeback stories would be complete. In 2017, we received Sonic Mania, yada yada yada, gimmicks, the release was a hit. I'm trying to skip to the important shit, but yeah. It was created by a team of external developers. Sonic is known for carrying forward momentum, with the success of Sonic Mania juxtaposed against the Sonic team developed Sonic Forces, which came out mere months later. It painted a discouraging... Yeah, so they're doing the whole recap shit, but this time with Forces and not 06, basically. So yeah, Mania had a higher Metacritic score than Forces by almost 30 points. We all know this shit anyway. Coming back to summer 22, they were gearing up for a launch, yada yada yada, impressions, more and more positive. The game arrived in November, didn't ascend to the heights of Sonic Mania, that's one of our Frontiers, and it did earn a respectable 71 on Metacritic and became the best-selling 3D Sonic game. That's still disputed, but okay, no one's fact-checking anymore. Sonic Team finally had its long-awaited hit, and for the first time in years, fans had shared a sense of optimism for the future. However, while classic Sonic appeared in Sonic Generations, Sonic Forces, spin-off entries outside of Mania, the classic branch of the franchise has received a tiny fraction of the attention! This is why I don't like reading these articles, these fucking casuals. You'd be saying a tiny amount of it. Let's just skip to the news, man. Where is the news? I can't read all this shit. There's too much shit here, okay? The road to Sonic Superstars began during COVID lockdown. There's too much shit here, okay? I'm gonna just keep going. I can't read all this. Where's the Tales channel shit? Okay, where's the Tales channel shit? Okay, I think they summarized it or something. Yeah, let's check out their summary. They got a summary because I can't be reading these casual posts. Okay, what does it say here? New zones, customization options, and emerald powers. A recap of the Sonic Superstars cover story. Yeah, we'll check out the Tales channel recap. Issue 358 of the GameInformer magazine was published this Tuesday, and this 12-page column on the upcoming Sonic Superstars revealed a new look into its development and previewed a number of in-game features and zones. Here's everything you need to know. The major takeaways: we got the new zone names Sky Temple, Pinball Carnival, Lagoon City, Sand Sanctuary. So it's not Sky Sanctuary, it's with sand. Okay, Press Factory, and an unannounced Golden Capital. We got the new emerald powers that you already talked about. They said expect vast character customization options in the brand new item shop. Ooh, special select stages in a generation style wall map. So it's got like the white wall, like the 2D kind of hub situation. Oh, we got more. Okay, yeah, let's keep going. New zones. Characters have the choice of going through a normal act or a character-specific act. For example, finishing Act 1 or Speed Jungle Zone as Sonic allows you to choose between either playing the second act of Speed Jungle or an Act Sonic, an alternate act of Speed Jungle where you zoom as Sonic running away from a terrorizing Fang the Sniper. Then they change it to like Fang the Hunter or they be changing Fang next name a million fucking times. There's reportedly a wall map similar to Generations where you run in a 2D plane to select the stage. There's also an item shop where you can trade medals in for customizable parts. Apparently you can customize your head, body, arms, legs, accessories, color, and something called Proto. So if you can customize your head, body, arms, and legs, are they gonna just give us Modern Sonic? Are we gonna have to unlock Modern Sonic head, unlock Modern Sonic arms, unlock Modern Sonic legs, and then torso bit by bit, and then until finally we craft the superior modern model? Is that what they're gonna do to us? Or is it just gonna be like Sonic Colors Ultimate, classic Sonic but with green gloves? Yay! Well, I don't know. Right? If it's not Modern Sonic, we rely on mods, but I don't know. We'll see what the customization entails. The third zone of the game is reportedly called Sky Temple Zone. In the zone, there is a mini game similar to the game Breakout, where you turn into a ball and aim to break bricks. Okay. The climax or the ending of the zone is a massive storm. The fourth zone is called Pinball Carnival, As the name suggests, a giant pinball arena and fast sequences with fireworks setting off. And then it says the fifth zone is called Lagoon City, which is filled with submerged city ruins and water slides. Okay, I like water slides and city ruins. Act 1 is mostly above water, whereas Act 2 has several underwater sequences. Amy's character-specific act of Lagoon City is fruit-based, with several gimmicks like a fruit-based robots and such. Okay, Sanctuary Zone is the 6th zone of Sonic Superstars, and a 7th zone reportedly called Press Factory Zone. File names and newly released screenshots also disclose the unofficially announced Golden Capital Zone. And then we got the Emerald Powers. Oh, there's more info in it. Okay, inspired by the Wisp, we know that. We have the gold ring and the giant blue ring. Completing the gold ring gives you chaos. We know that part. It can be used by using the right stick and operating a cooldown with the checkpoint. Yeah, we know that part. We'll skip the emerald stuff because we've already gone through this before. But yeah, super form. Alright, super form. Characters can turn into their super form after collecting all 7 Chaos Emeralds. Characters won't have any specific abilities outside of being invincible and becoming faster. Emerald powers can still be used in super form. So I guess you can, yeah, super form is the best of both worlds because you still get your emerald powers. Development concept came from a Zoom call. We know that Hiroshima and Azuka helped produce the roles for Superstars. Despite hinting at a short development time than expected, Hiroshima was impressed by Sonic Team and Azuka. So what, is the game 7 zones then? Is it 7 zones? What else is there? There were talks between Azuka and Whitehead's team. Yeah. Azuka said that programming for Superstars is completely unique and done from scratch. Of course he says that. And what else have we got? The screenshots. I think we've already seen a bunch of them, but yeah, we've got screenshots here. So we've got the Tails one from the cannon. We've got Knuckles looking at this enemy here. And then there's like rings coming out of the enemy. We saw this one before, Knuckles, and I think this is the Golden Capital Zone, effectively. And then we got, what else have we got? We got this one. We got Amy on this zone. We saw that one already. We got Tails flying. Yeah, I've pretty much seen all these screenshots. But yeah, Superstars, you know, looks like it'll be decent. I don't think it's gonna be anything crazy. I'm not blown away yet. Like, and my opinions are my opinions, but obviously I'm usually right in terms of like how I feel about something versus when it comes out, right? Sometimes there's things I'm wrong about, but like with Mania, I was like, when I saw the trailer, I already knew that it was like high quality in terms of the level design, the polish. Whereas the Superstars, I'm looking at it like, it will probably be okay. Like, level design will probably not be anywhere near Mania quality. It'll probably be closer to like Sonic 4 Episode 2 kind of level design, you know, which I enjoyed Sonic 4 Episode 2. I mean, it's not like A tier or anything like that, or S tier, but I enjoyed it. I expect it to be in those leagues. And some people think that's me hating just because I don't think it's Mania levels. It's not hating. It's just what it is, right? But let me know what you guys think about all of this. Will you be copying Sonic Superstars? Would you prefer Sonic Mania 2? Would you prefer a Sonic Mania or Sonic 2D Sonic level creator game? But yeah, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell. And of course, make sure to check out the non-Sonic channel. The link will be in the description. But that's all I have to say right now. So, Premy out.